And now, here's your host, Nicole Monique.
And welcome to That's What She Said Sports. I'm your host, Nicole Monique. On this episode, we'll be visiting Kennesaw State University and talking to Athletic Director Vaughn Williams to see what he has up for year 2. All that and more on That's What She Said Sports. 20 miles north of Atlanta sits a quaint community called Kennesaw, which is the home to Kennesaw State University. KSU has over 23,000 students and is best known for academic programs in business, education, and nursing. It is the third largest university in Georgia. Once known as Georgia's best kept secret, I can tell you the secret is out. Kennesaw State University is making an impact, and soon they will also be known for the athletic program, which is growing leaps and bounds and making a difference at the school and within the community. I had the pleasure and the opportunity to speak to a few of those on Vaughn's staff. We talked about everything from Vaughn to what it means to be a coach and Kennesaw State University. And Vaughn talked about that as far as, he says you're a student first and then you're an athlete. Mm-hmm. Why is that so important?
Mm-hmm. Well, at the end of the day, most of, the NCAA has that commercial where most student athletes are going to end up going professional in something other than their sport.
Right.
So it's really important that at the end of their 4 or 5 years that they spend with us, that they have an education and they can go out in the community and, make an impact in other ways.
Right.
It'd be great if we got some professional athletes, and we have had a few over the years, but the majority of our student athletes need to have an education because they're going to be professional in something else.
Right. Now, I asked Vaughn this question. He said it was an interesting question, so I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
Why KSU? If I'm a parent and I have a senior in high school and I'm looking at all the different schools, because a lot of times people don't consider, KSU. They're looking at Georgia State or Georgia Tech. So why would you encourage somebody to send their child here to KSU?
KSU is in a wonderful location for one thing. It's a very safe area.
Right.
It's a huge university that you don't feel like it's a huge university, that it's kind of this hidden jewel that we have here, that you have all the benefits of a large university, but it has a smaller feel to it. And there's a sense of community here that people are no longer just showing up, taking class and going home, that they are treating this as, a destination university and again, because of the location of it and the kind of people that are here, I don't know if I can convince my children to go here because we live here.
Having a chance to make a difference, and don't take it for granted. Because it's a genuine privilege to be in this profession.
Because he preaches servant leadership. That's
one of his mainstays.
Right. That's like one of his mantras. How important is that to you?
Well, I think it's inherent. I probably don't articulate it as much as Vaughn does. But I've always known that part of my job is to be there for my students, to be there for my athletes, to help my fellow coach, to help, So I think it's inherent. All good leaders, truly good leaders, are servants. And it's good for business too. I mean, if you demonstrate to everybody that you're willing to get in there with them and that they can count on you and they can trust in you and that you're genuine, then they tend to reciprocate. So. I don't, like I said, Vaughn does a very nice job of articulating it. And I think he's probably teaching us as a group to do that more, to go out and say it. But I'd like to think that I've at least tried to do it over my career, but I very much believe in it.
Now, how excited are you about the football team?
I'm very excited about it. I mean, I was born and raised in the southeastern part of the United States. I mean, college football is the most important time of year. And the second most important time of year is spring football practice in college. So we're all excited about it. We love the prospects. We love the likelihood of it coming here. I can't wait.
Now, what do you say to those people who, I mean, you know, with everything, you're going to have people who like something and they don't.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a few people on campus, they're not exactly excited about it. Obviously, it's going to change the culture. It's going to change Kennesaw State. So what do you say to those who aren't exactly excited about the football team?
I certainly respect everybody's opinions, you know, all over campus, and they certainly are entitled to them. I mean, the university is a place for thought.
Right.
And it's, you know, an opinion is welcome. But I would only ask them to give us a chance to not jump to conclusions. And before you evaluate us, see how we do it as compared to how other people do it. Don't expect us to do it the same way as School X or School Y. Let's just see how we do it, and then we'll evaluate it.
Right. How's it been working with Vaughn?
I think a lot of our value system parallels each other, and it's been a very smooth transition working with him as well.
Yeah.
I did not think I could meet somebody who reads as much as I do, but he does, and then some, so he keeps me on my toes. But I think the most important thing is that he has a crystal clear vision of where he wants to take this athletic department and our athletics programs, and you know, we understand that on a day in and day out basis.
It's every day is just 100% energy to the max. You can tell if he's been in the office, if he's coming in, just the energy is contagious. I'm really fortunate to have my office in the suite here, and you can hear him a mile away. You know, very positive. He's true to his word, which has just been fantastic. You know, he's got 3 T's: teamwork, trust, and transparency, and he's just been so fantastic at sticking through with what he said he would do.
Right.
So it's really a great place to be right now.
Now, above his office, he has, above the office door says, respect the privilege.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
You know, this career really is a privilege. To get the opportunity to educate student athletes at such an important time in their lives is a privilege. You know, we get to guide young women. They come in at 18, and by the time they graduate, they are young adults, and it is a privilege to get to do that and to work under a leader like Vaughn. Again, it's a privilege that we as a department take seriously, and that's contagious. And I tell my students every day, you are 9 very fortunate young women to get to be a part of such a fantastic experience here at Kennesaw State.
So you've been here for 2 months from Smackover, Arkansas.
Smackover, Arkansas, home of the battling Buckaroos.
So what brings you here? What are you doing here at Kennesaw State?
I came to Kennesaw State because I saw a unique opportunity, particularly the role that I'm in, a manager for student athlete and experiential learning programs. I saw it as a great way to kind of bridge some of the different aspects of higher education together in regard to academics, athletics, as well as student success, student affairs. I saw that this opportunity was really a great way to make sure that we accomplish that.
Because you're a former student athlete.
I am a former student athlete. I spent 4 years at the University of Arkansas playing basketball.
Okay.
Had a great time at the University of Arkansas, great alma mater. And when I was going through my process, I saw some things that possibly could have been better.
Okay.
University of Arkansas served me very well, but anytime, you know, I think whenever you love something and you care about the situation that you're in, you try to find ways to try to make things better. And one of the things I really thought that we were challenged with a lot of times at the University of Arkansas is being able to understand different aspects of the university, getting more exposure outside of athletics so you can continue to grow holistically. And this particular endeavor that we have here at Kennesaw State University, I think, is gives an opportunity to address those types of issues.
Right, because it is unique being a student athlete. I don't think a lot of students who don't play sports get it, because there's practice sometimes before class, then you have the class, and then of course you might have games and things like that. So obviously you can relate to that.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a lot of pressure being a student athlete. But I think one of the great and unique opportunities that it does provide is for you to be able to develop some work ethic and some skills and transferable things. You learn the value of teamwork, communication, conflict management. You learn these type of skills very early on if you truly pay attention to it. So I think the challenge is for individuals like myself, as well as the student athletes we'll be working with, other students and administrators and faculty on campus, is to try to continue to tap into those talents and those skills and let them help these young individuals realize how they can make that transferable in order to have a more complete and rewarding life.
Well, this is such a great program, because when Vaughn had brought it up, the one thing that he said is he realized everybody's not going to the pros. I mean, you know, you have a lot of people here who are going to be student athletes possibly all 4 years.
Well, most of us not. Most of it,
right.
You know, most people want.
Right. So, but he talked about, getting them ready for business, their resumes and things like that. So this class that you're teaching is preparing them pretty much just life outside of college.
Well, we want to give them a good foundation. I was talking to some student athletes earlier today, and I told them that I want them to really think about the practice orientation around the things that we do.
Right.
So basically, you get a resume. Let's try to get it shaped up, get you something to start working with, so you can give you a foundation for you to start building it into a source for you to be able to be recognized and exposed to the different opportunities as they come about. People want to know who you are, even for the smallest things. People want some biographical data on you. They want to know what type of skills you bring to the table, even if it's just for a summer job. And I think that for our student athletes, that's going to be a tremendous benefit. We're going to have some individuals come in, talk about resume development, talk about careers, talk about different things that we feel like are pertinent to that particular population, just like any other student.
Right. Next, you'll meet Dr. Nancy King, who's been such an influential part of Kennesaw State University and an amazing woman who I thoroughly enjoy talking to. So, Dr. King, you've been at KSU now you actually retired after 35 years.
I did. I retired, it was 36 years.
Oh, wow.
I'm in my 40th year.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, so I've been around. I've seen a lot of growth and a lot of change.
Yeah, so what have you seen as far as, obviously, KSU's grown in 40 years? What was it like when you first arrived here?
Well, you could put the whole campus in the center of the green over there. Very few buildings.
Yeah.
In fact, what is now the campus green was a street.
Okay.
This didn't even exist.
Wow.
The business college building didn't exist.
Yeah.
Very small physical plant.
Okay.
And I guess when I started, there were probably maybe 1,200 students.
Wow.
And we're now expecting right at 25,000 this fall, so
Nice.
a lot of growth.
Nice. So, I want to talk a little bit about the athletic department.
Okay.
And obviously, you've seen a lot of change in it. And you also chaired the committee for the NCAA to help us get, as far as Division I.
Right.
So, what was that experience like for you?
Well, you want me to go back to the beginning?
Yeah, let's
because
go back.
I was actually here when the athletic department was established.
Nice. Okay.
The current president then was Dr. Betty Siegel, and she hired Spec Landrum as the first AD.
Wow.
And we only had 4 sports and a very small gym, which is now the rec center.
Okay.
So it started small,
Right.
but we started with both men and women's sports, the 4 sports, and after Spec left in 1987, that's when Dave Waples came on. And Dave was in that capacity and really built the program. We were in NAIA, we were in Division II NCAA. And then we moved into Division I, which is no small feat.
Right.
As it turns out, there's a lot that you have to do. There was like a year-long self-study, and I did chair the steering committee for that NCAA,
Nice.
and learned probably more than I ever
thought
I wanted to know about the NCAA.
Right.
But it was a good experience, and we wrote the report and had no problems being accepted into Division I. We went into the Atlantic Sun Conference, ASUN. And so we've now been in Division I. We're in our 6th year.
Oh, wow. Wow. So what's it been like with Vaughn on campus?
Vaughn has been, well, first of all, let me back up and say, both Spec Landrum and Dave Waples, they were the right person for the time when they came.
Right.
And there is no question in my mind but that Vaughn Williams is the right person to take us to the next level.
Nice, okay.
First of all, we needed somebody with Division I experience.
Right, and him coming from UConn.
He came from UConn.
Right.
He had been an athlete, college athlete in Division I, so he knows the NCAA and that level of play.
Right.
But there are a lot of people that have experience in Division I, but don't have the qualities that I think are so valuable
True.
in Vaughn.
True.
You've met him.
Oh, yeah.
So you
Yeah.
know that I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah. His belief in servant leadership is
Well, you don't have to
phenomenal.
be around him long
Yeah.
before he talks about servant leadership. He truly believes in giving back.
Yeah.
And he's passionate about this university
Yeah.
and about moving our athletic program forward. And I have no doubt but that he will do
Yeah.
that.
So now let's meet Kennesaw State University's athletic director, Vaughn Williams. As athletic director, he oversees the operation of 11 campus athletic facilities for 24 varsity sports and growing and 600 student athletes. He's accomplished some amazing things in just his first year. But let's hear Vaughn tell you all about it. Vaughn, let's talk a little bit about as far as year one. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that took place in your first year. What would you say you're most proud of?
Well, I think there are a number of things that you can be proud of. First, very humble to be here. And I think from the first standpoint of our student athletes, it starts there. And we have some great student athletes. Prior to me coming here, they had broken the record of GPA at 3.01, and that was really special. And coming to my first year, we asked them this time last year to respond and see, I think we can do better. And they responded with a 3.11. So I think 65% of our student athletes got that 3.0, and I'm really, really proud of that. And I think the next thing is we responded with saying we need to be servant leaders, and that's what we preach, and we need to win this community service award in the conference. And so, once again, last year this time, we talked about getting that award, and then we won that award. From an athletic standpoint, for the student athletes, we were 4 points from winning the All-Sport trophy. We won the Women's All-Sport trophy, and we had a number of accomplishments across the board for our athletic team. So, from that perspective, I think from a list of things that just happened, from the support on campus and working with the student groups and all the things that happened, I think we hired 3 tremendous coaches in the first year. Lewis Preston from Penn State, going to be a fabulous coach, just a fabulous leader. Wins and losses don't always show that, but we improved greatly our culture and our academics. We then hired Nietzsche Perry at the end of the year to be our new women's leader of women's basketball, and probably one of the best young coaches in the country. We got lucky, and we're very fortunate to have her. Took her from University of Toledo, former Mississippi State All-Star, and then we hired our first women's lacrosse coach ever, and I think that's an accomplishment. Christine Yanis, who is now located in the area, is coached at different levels in Division I, and we'd be the first Division I women's lacrosse program in the country. And if you go on through the year, hosting the College Cup, that's the Division I Women's National Championships. We have never hosted an event of this magnitude at ESPNU. So we got to speak to the world about what Kennesaw State has to offer, and I'll tell you, ESPN and all the teams from Stanford, Duke, Florida State couldn't believe the show that Cobb County and Kennesaw State provided them. And then you go on to the remainder reorganization of staff, and that was happening all during the year, and truly trying to align our staff with the principles of us moving forward and servant leadership and making sure we have the right people that love what they love to do, are passionate about serving the student athlete and our coaches, and passionate about serving Kennesaw State. And then, of course, the fight song. I don't know if that's one of my most famous moments, but it is. I'll never forget it. The process of going through the fight song process and being involved in tradition and those type of things are special. And so you round some of those things out, and then this continues with athletic mark change. We went through that process for a couple of months to launch late in the year our new athletic mark, and it's taking hold in the community, taking hold in the marketplace as well, and that's what we're trying to do. Everything that we're doing and everything that we've done in year one is really just trying to lay the groundwork for this institution to move forward in a great way and keeping up with our role in it. So those are some of the highlights off the field, on the field, in the community. We definitely have started doing different things in the community, and I think we continue to reach out, and people are reaching to us. So those are some of the things I'm most proud of.
Tell me, what kind of culture are you trying to create here at Kennesaw State?
Well, I think that's a great question, and I think the words we like to use with our student athletes, incoming recruits, and even our staff within athletics is respect the privilege. We really believe that it's an honor to be able to impact lives, it's an honor to work for an institution of higher education. And to do that, respect the privilege, I think it's a matter of making sure we realize what we have, what we're thankful for, and really to help our young people understand that this is not everybody can do it. Not everybody can go to college and be ambassadors for their institution, let alone get a college degree. So we need to look at it a little bit differently. And I think the other part of it is servant leadership. It's a near and dear concept to a lot of people, but I think it takes some energy, and we're trying to point our student athletes and staff in the right direction and making sure it's not about us, it's about the institution. It's not about myself, but it is about my teammate. So we think if we can create that type of atmosphere, it will have a profound impact on institution, the internal community, the external community, and really lives. And I think at the end of the day, that's what we're here to do. We're here to impact lives, and we're also here to make sure that the people that work with us and our student athletes reach their potential as people, as students, and as athletes. So that's kind of the culture we're trying to.
As we ended our conversation, Vaughn and I then had the opportunity to go to the gym, where he was able to show me the brand new and amazing jumbo screen. Vaughn, let's talk about your legacy. How do you want to be remembered years from now at Kennesaw State?
Well, that's a loaded question. I don't know if it's about being remembered as much as it's about, all the good things that will happen and being a part of it. So I guess I just want to be known as someone that helped us get to where we need to be as an institution.
Right.
For our student athletes to feel as if that they were loved and that they were brought to realizing their dreams and potential, and really just that we realize dreams here. I think that's what it's about, realizing dreams and expectations and goals. And so, and somebody that just really cared about this institution and put the institution first. So that's about it.
Good. Well, I want to say thank you so much for your time.
Okay, well, thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem.
Okay, go Owls.
As you can see, year 2 looks pretty exciting, not only for Vaughn and his staff, but also for Kennesaw State University. Well, this has been fun. And remember, you can check us out online, not only on our website, but also on Twitter and Facebook. So with that, thanks, and we'll see you next time.